boy, Coach White. Welcome to Coach Class with Coach. Thank you for checking in one more time, man, even if it's for a little bit. I appreciate you guys. Um, Facebook, salute, salute. YouTube, salute, salute, salute. All right, let me let TikTok in the building. TikTok, what up, what up? Pray it all is well, man. Hope you guys are having an exceptional week on purpose. All right, let's get right into these announcements. Okay, first things first. Uh, if we're not connected on YouTube, let's connect, man. The Gallery That Tells Your Story channel. Uh, Let me share my screen so I can give you guys a glimpse of that particular channel. And here we go. So yeah, man, check out the channel, poke around a bit. It won't hurt you. Let's see what that. Just wanted to see what that tab was right there. All right. So yeah, man. So you'll see some of the shows that I had on Love Radio Network. I'll post it. Some of the podcasts, which includes some of the podcasts, and you'll see scenes from the lounge. Shout out to my wife, Jazz, Dax, and 50. You'll see us all in there. A couple interviews with some authors. Shout out to Missy. Shout out to Linnell. Yeah, man. So check it out when you get a chance and give me feedback. All right. So then we have um, channel that we're working on currently, Coach Darrell White. So as you can see, you have access to my calendar, so you can book any coaching sessions, or you could scan the QR code, and we have the coach classes featured here, and we have the Bible studies as well. The No Funerals event is coming up soon, so we have some sneak peeks at that documentary coming up. Yeah, so check it out, man. And again, give me some feedback. All right. Then we all have books for sale. Let me share my screen again. 50 Shades of She. My wife and her genius, God be praised, has this really dope poetic novel. I wanted to promote Linnell's book as well. I'll do that next time. Yeah, so 50 Shades of She. You could check this out. It's available on Kindle for $3.99, and you can buy or order a paperback copy for $22. We're actually going to be, actually, I have a few here. So if you catch me out and about, yeah, it's maybe a little cheaper than 22. Work something out. Just want to put it in your hand and get your feedback. That's what's most important. So 50 Shades of She, promoting that. Also, we have I Do, I Did, and It Didn't. I've been talking this through before, but I actually want to present it to you guys so you can see what it looks like. It's available on Kindle for $5.99. All right, shout out to Rock. Shout out to Anastasia and Taisha. This was a 4-author project, man. We had a really, really good time. So check that out. I wonder why the Amazon price isn't on here. It just says Kindle. I'll figure that out. All right. So they have forsaking all others, Aiden and Nicole, which is a part of Aiden's journey, which is a series. And Aiden is the main character. All right. So this is how that looks. You can grab it on Kindle for $4.99. Paperback is $12.99. Really fun project I did with my wife. And last but certainly not least, we have The Invisible Marriage. So this is how that looks. Part 2 of Aiden's journey. You can grab it on Kindle for $3.99. Yeah, man, give us some feedback, man. Give us some feedback. That's all we asking for. All right. So what else we have? If we are not connected on Facebook, you can follow me at Darrell White. On TikTok, I'm Darrell Dr. White. That's Darrell Dr. White. And on IG, I'm Darrell Dr. White as well. All right. Of course, we have Bible studies every Sunday from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have tonight will be Coach Class with Coach from 8 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. All right. Man, let's get into this. Let's get right into this. I think you guys are gonna love this. I think you're gonna love this. I'm gonna share my screen, give you guys the quote of the day. Check this out. Actually, before I do, let me let my brother in. Let me change my screen here. Salute, salute. What's up, my guy?
What's up, bro? How you feel?
Man, all is well as it should be, man. How you making up?
Yeah, I'm cool, but
Go ahead.
I said I'm cool about to walk into this house.
Okay. Good. Your spirit and your energy good?
You know, I mean, I'm saying it to you, bro. You know what I mean? Life be lifing, but
Yeah.
you know, making it work, yo, making it work, bro.
Yeah. Life does what life does, man. Is my sister joining us today? Not sure.
I got. Let me send it to her. I ain't forget to send it to her.
Okay. All right, no worries, man. Your timing is perfect. We about to get into the quote of the day right now. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me change my picture. Put you on the corner. All right, listen to this, y'all. Something I taught on in my class, not this week, but last week. And the quote reads as such: some people play victims of crimes they committed. Some people play victims of crimes
Hey,
they
yo.
committed. I want that to sink in for a minute. Some people play victims of crimes they committed. So this is about the victim mentality. And this article that I'm about to introduce for today's class shines a light on something a little different uh, that we're going to expose today. I never even consider what we're about to present before. But we're going to get into this. But that's the quote of the day. Some people play victims of crimes they committed. And I can, you know, I've experienced life enough to acknowledge the people that, shout out to Brother Rasco, people who throw a rock, hit you with that rock and hide their hands. I've experienced that enough in life. And it's pretty frustrating, to say the least. But this article that we're going to cover today is going to put a different spin on those individuals, and hopefully, and maybe, it will garner some empathy on our part. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing the quote. TikTok, if you want to see the presentation, jump on my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see it live and direct. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. Here's the. Hey, did I see something? Oh, here we go. Sorry. Before I do anything, let me let my sister in. Hey there, how are you? Thank you for being a co-host another time today. Hope that all is well in your world. Don't know if you want to give the people a shout before we get started, but your timing is perfect. All right.
What's my can here?
All right, here we go, y'all. Let me go back to my screen. Put y'all on the bottom right. And share. Okay, here we go. Victim mentality. This is by Jennifer Gerlach. She is a licensed clinical social worker. The title of this article again is Victim Mentality is a Trauma Response to. Victim mentality is a trauma response. All right, let's get right into this. This section of the article is subtitled Unescapable Shocks, a Victim Mentality, and Learned Helplessness. Please pay attention to this. She says, when someone has had an experience or series of experiences wherein they were powerless, that sense of helplessness can get stamped onto their perceptions. Check this out. Psychologists have known this for decades. As early as 1967, an experiment subjected dogs to repeated shocks in such a way that the dogs could not predict when they would be shocked. Over time, listen to this, the creatures simply accepted the shocks and became docile. Even after the shocks ended, the creatures were still. They did not leave the cage and behaved in a way reflecting hopelessness. So let's go to the chalkboard for a minute. Let's go to the chalkboard for a minute. I'm going to stop sharing here. And I'm going to share my chalkboard. All right, here we go. I got a couple takeaways and a journal entry that we're going to look at a little later. But let's shine the light on something for a minute. Let me scroll up. Let's look. Let's look at what logic says about this experiment. Logic, and it's two words that we carry with us in critical thinking logic. If introduces a condition, let me just write it like this. Then introduces a conclusion. All right. Let me scroll down a little bit. Check this out, right? We got the gist of the experiment. So if the dog is shocked randomly over a period of time, then the dog will anticipate being shocked. Isn't that a fair and logical conclusion to draw? Let's go back up for a second. This is so good, man. I love research. So I'm here. I'm in this section here. An experiment subjected dogs to repeated shocks, right? In such a way that the dogs could not predict when they would be shocked. Over time, the creatures, or the dogs, simply accepted the shocks and became docile. Even after the shocks ended, the creatures were still. They did not leave the cage and behave in a way reflecting hopelessness. All right? So if, again, the dog is shocked randomly over a period of time, then the dog will anticipate being shocked. How does that apply to human beings and relationships? Being shocked is a traumatic event. So if and we say shocked for someone else, shock could look like various things. Or being shocked could look like various experiences. But let's say that happens randomly over a period of time, over and over and over and over again. Then the person, like the dog in this experiment, will anticipate being shocked. So whatever that shock is for that individual, in comparison to our relationship dynamics, one would expect that would happen randomly. So what will happen to that individual? They would become guarded in their relationships. They will become hopeless in a sense. in their mind, in their psyche, they would figure, hey, this is the best that things are going to be. And that shock, whatever that is for that individual, is coming around the corner. You see how this can affect our psyche? Logically, this makes sense because the shocks came randomly over a period of time. So it is with some of our relationship dynamics. And to the author's point, this is why or how the victim mentality is developed over time. But let's see the article. Is this making sense to everybody? I got bumped out. Maybe. Oh, there we go. We add him back to the string. All right. Let's go back to the article. Let's go back to the article here. This is a real interesting read. All right. So then she says, tragically, such echoes the confusion and pain many people go through in traumatic situations like an abusive home. A victim's mentality is a trauma response, she says. Similarly, entering unsafe relationships or predicaments time and time again can be a way of reenacting the past. This is not to say that the person is to blame for the abuse, but that due to having been harmed in the past, they may be primed toward what is familiar while predatory abusers take advantage. Yet, even for the dogs, healing was possible through what we may know, or through what may now be termed a kind of exposure therapy. The scientists repeatedly brought the dogs out of their cages, listen to this, showing that their actions would not be punished, hence shocked. In time, the canines reverted to typical behavior. Even though a sense of learned helplessness or a victim's mentality can be ignited by trauma, and the person may feel powerless to stop, with proper support, these patterns can change. If these patterns change for those dogs, then certainly it could change for us. But it requires that we do the work necessary. All right? And then she goes on to talk about how liberating the work of trauma therapy can be. Many people have anxieties about talking about in the past or present because they are afraid. They may think that acknowledging what happened will doom them to admit irreversibly change. This is an understandable response. Yet, the opposite seems to be true. Through trauma-focused therapies, a person is often liberated into a survivor's mentality. Let me let my brother in real quick. I assume that was him that was bumped out. I don't see it. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Still sharing my screen. Listen to this very carefully. She says, here's the difference. Mentality says, I am powerless and forever doomed to be a victim. Let me repeat that. A victim mentality says, I am powerless and forever doomed to be a victim of my circumstances. On the contrary, a survivor mentality says, despite whatever I have encountered, even things I did not choose, or am powerless over, my wings still fly. I am willing to engage all the forces I can to move toward what matters to me. My story may have shaped parts of me, but it's the person behind my eyes who is flying. Man, I love it. And then she goes on to close out with empowered people empower people. Therapy is usually not enough. Rather, engaging in healthy relationships and community is where the magic really takes hold. Through finding support of others, the trend can be broken. In psychodynamic terms, this is referred to as corrective relationship. In everyday terms, you can think of it more as finding your people. And I'll skip down here. The ultimate resolution of a victim's mind state is one of power, wherein we not only feel comfortable with lifting ourselves, but we can also help others to rise without a need to compete. Playing the victim is a crass term for a real challenge. A victim's mentality is not usually a conscious choice, but rather a trauma response. Through psychotherapy and positive relationships, it is possible to overcome a victim's mentality and flourish. All right. So let's close out with going back to the chalkboard. Okay. Here we go. All right. Let me scroll up. So a couple of takeaways. As soon as the article started, my first takeaway was when someone has had a series of experiences wherein they were powerless, that sense of helplessness can get stamped onto their perceptions. All right. And we spoke about the experiment and we lined it up with what logic says. I like what she says, a victim mentality says, I am powerless and forever doomed to be a victim of my circumstances. But on the contrary, a survivor's mentality says, despite whatever I have encountered, even things I did not choose or am powerless over, my wings still fly. So here's the journal entry for this class. The question that I'm posing is my victim mentality a trauma response? And if so, I want you to identify what or which traumatic events has impacted my perceptions most. Is my victim mentality a trauma response? And if so, what or which traumatic events has impacted my perceptions most? All right. So I'll stop sharing at this time. And I will go to my panel. Before we close out today, let me change the screen here. Are there any questions, comments, thoughts that you guys could offer to our audience today as it pertains to this topic? Jamal, what say you?
Excuse me, healing begins when you shed the victim mentality. That's when the healing starts. Till then, you will be powerless. So by taking accountability, you take your power back. So when you become a victim, you give your power away, not realizing normally you do it because it's easy to be a victim. It's a lot harder to look at yourself in the mirror and realize you are responsible for the circumstances that you are in. So you gotta just own it, take accountability, take your power back. 'Cause a lot of times it's just pain, and turn that pain into power.
Love it. Love it. Appreciate the wisdom, good brother. That's good stuff. Bree, what say you? Any feedback for the audience today? Let's see. I think you're a little staticky right now. I can hear you, but it's staticky. A little bit.
I had to reset I had to like kept closing out. It wouldn't let me. It's tripping.
Yeah. Yeah. So if it's better for you to log off and log back in, you can do that if you like. We would
Yeah, I had
definitely
to
love
close.
your feedback. Until then, let me give a shout out to TikTok. Saved Are You? What's going on, my sister? Pray that all is well. Thanks for checking in with us. Lovely day. Salute, salute. Naya, salute. Thank you for checking in. Alita, Curtis, thank you for checking in. Let me let Bree in now. Still here, a little static, but let's see. Let's see if I got your volume all the way up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you clear now.
Oh, that's better. Oh, this is so good. It's right on time. This is really good. It's
Wow.
really, really good. So I do feel that I do respond in a traumatic way when it comes to just friendships, relationships, just based on like the history that I've had with being married and divorced and just dealing with abuse and just a lot of different things. So I tend to run. I don't want to, well, I used to run.
Okay.
Now what I do is I take time to process like where did I mess up at? Where could I have changed my thought process? I take the time to find me, like what I could have done differently. It
Yeah.
may take a couple days, but I get around to it. But normally I'll run. Honestly, I'll cut you off. I'll disappear. But that's not healthy, and you can miss out on like a really good friendship, great opportunities because you want to run and not face yourself. Ultimately, face yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is good. This is really
Oh,
good. I'm excited. Yes.
praise God. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm glad you
Namaste.
got on for sure.
Yes, me too.
And guys, sorry about last week. I was so swamped with some administrative stuff. I took a nap, and when I lifted my eyes up, it was close to 7:30. I said, "Oh man, I'm not even gonna try to force it." So
All
glad you
right.
guys were able to help me out again for another week. So appreciate you guys.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So if you guys can hang on for a minute, let me shut down the stream for a second. All right, TikTok, Lord willing, we see you guys next week. Let's see. All right, peace. Uh, Facebook, YouTube, salute, salute. See you guys next week.